Earlier today, one of my new friends showed me one of the craziest views in Atlanta, and I'm looking at it right now. In the shadow of Turner Field and some luxury apartments, there still stands this dilapidated, boarded up duplex, which is foreshadowing one of the craziest before and after pictures I'm going to show you. This is the Summerhill neighborhood in South Atlanta, and on the very same block of that abandoned boarded up house, security doorbell cameras on luxury homes were beeping at me. Summerhill was a community of freed slaves immediately after the Civil War. Because of Jim Crow and later redlining, it became one of the few places where black people were allowed to live by right. And because of its proximity to downtown and streetcars which connected it to downtown, it was a good neighborhood for opportunities. But in the 1950s, they started to dismantle the streetcar system. But in the 1960s, Interstate 20 came in, severing Summerhill from Mechanicsville and displacing 3,400 people, the majority of which were people of color. Just a few years later, Fulton County Stadium would be built, dismantling blocks of businesses and homes in order to make a home for the Braves. And not even 26 years later, in preparation for the Olympics, Turner Field would be built a few blocks over, further encroaching on the neighborhood, while tearing down the old stadium and turning it into a parking lot. More on that later. This, among other things, left this neighborhood in shambles. And when, just over 20 years later, the Braves wanted further development in the area to help boost the value of the stadium, the county was short-sighted in part because they made a lot of money in the parking lots in the area and didn't want them to develop. Fast forward to 2017, and the Braves moved to the northern part of Atlanta. And despite donating the stadium to Georgia State, you can just look at the before and after and see how much the interstate system and the stadium absolutely decimated this neighborhood. But if you look closely, you can see signs of the old grid. In particular, Georgia Avenue stands as a great opportunity of future development. I want to show you a few things that I'm optimistic about that are happening here and talk about future development along this avenue. First, on the 300 block, you see all of these buildings right here. These are relatively new. In 2017, that was a parking lot. And in 2019, Woods Chapel Barbecue moved into the area. Named after one of the first black churches in this area, it pays homage to this past community. KUA architects came in and helped with the rebuilding of parts of this street. For this block, they helped shore up some of these older buildings and attach new construction and a type of adaptive reuse to bring life to this area. And though there is a chance that this area could develop in such a way that it makes sense to build here, for now, it's been turned into a third space, a sort of shared area between these different businesses. If you look at this business before, you'll see that they punched holes to bring life to spill into the plaza. And all along Georgia Avenue, you see smaller businesses inhabiting newly built and refurbished buildings all along the street. However, you'll have a hard time telling the difference between some of the new and old construction because they've done a good job honoring what the street used to be. There's hope that the best days of Summerhill are still ahead of it, yet there's still an overabundance of empty parking lots, the threat of displacement, and a need for a zoning code to be updated to allow for more diverse, equitable types of housing. But I think we can all agree that Georgia Avenue's future is looking better than its past.